What do you do when the streets you repped, the empire you built, and the woman you trusted turn on you in one savage sweep? Harlem just got hit with a betrayal so dirty, even Shakespeare would have said, "Damn, that's cold." Jim Jones, once the capo of the culture, is now rocking orange behind bars. And guess who threw the final stone? None other than his so-called brother for life, Cameron. Yep, Dipset ain't just dead, it got buried in designer suits and court documents. But hold up, it gets messier. Because while Jim sits in a jail cell, the real explosion came when Cameron exposed Chrissy Lampkin like never before. We're talking secrets so filthy, they should have come with an FBI warning. Leaked files, shady money trails, and a betrayal so personal, Harlem might need therapy. So buckle up. This isn't just a scandal. This is a full-blown cultural car crash, and you're in the front seat. Was this justice, or just revenge with lip gloss? Who's the real villain? Jim, Cam, or Chrissy? And how did loyalty become a luxury? Brand no one can afford. Let's peel back the velvet curtain and spill the tea they tried to bury. Let's start at the beginning, or should we say, the moment Harlem's royalty turned into reality TV tabloid trash. Jim Jones, the street legend, the Dipset general. The man who gave us Ballin and a lifetime of loyalty speeches is now sitting behind bars, and trust me, this ain't no quick probation or celebrity slap on the wrist. This is real time. Orange jumpsuit, no private chef. No Chrissy coming through with designer bags and filtered tears. It's just cold metal bars and a betrayal that cuts deeper than any diss track ever could. So how did we get here? And our Cameron, the pink fur-wearing, slick-talking Harlem icon who was once Jim's brother, co-founder, and partner in rhyme. These two were more than just rap collaborators. They were a movement. Dipset was the anthem of the streets, the fashion blueprint, the Harlem handshake. But behind the music and money, something darker was brewing. Something rotten. And Cam? Well, Cameron just decided to light a match and walk away while the whole kingdom burned. It started with a friendly Instagram live. You know the type. Cam, sipping something expensive, laughing way too hard and saying, "I ain't gone." Say too much, but right before saying way too much. What followed was a verbal carpet bomb aimed straight at Chrissy Lampkin, Jim's longtime fiancée. Reality show queen, and, according to Cam, the real boss of Jim's crumbling empire. Cam didn't just imply Chrissy was shady, he basically dropped an entire PowerPoint presentation with bullet points on betrayal. Offshore accounts, secret meetings, Chrissy allegedly flipping deals behind Jim's back like it was poker night with the mob. And the internet. Oh, the internet lost its damn mind. Twitter threads went nuclear. TikTok conspiracy pages lit up like it was New Year's Eve in Harlem. Chrissy the Kingpin was trending before noon. Everyone had a theory. Some said she was using Jim too. Launder money. Others claimed she was feeding Cam inside dirt for years before the fallout. One YouTube sleuth even pulled out a 2012 red carpet interview where Chrissy allegedly blinked in Morse code. Yes, it's that messy. And Jim was silent. Dead silent. No tweets, no live, no free me merch line. Just cold silence from a man who once never missed a beat. That's when people started asking, did Cameron really break the Dipset code? Or was he finally telling the truth nobody else had the guts to say? But hold on, we're just getting started, because the moment Cam started speaking, people started digging. And what they found? Let's just say VH1 could never air this season. Chrissy's name started popping up in places no one expected. Shady charity organizations, luxury real estate firms with zero online footprints. And bank wires going in and out of accounts that hadn't seen daylight since 2008. And right when we thought this was just another celebrity fallout, boom, a federal document leaks. A grand jury is allegedly being formed, and guess whose names are on the list? You guessed it, Jim and Chrissy. And just when you thought the Harlem circus had packed up and gone home, Cameron steps back into the spotlight like the Grand Master of petty revelations. With Jim Jones barely processed through the courthouse, metal detectors Cameron starts dropping audio clips on social media. Real audio, or so he claims. In these voice notes, an emotional Chrissy is allegedly heard pleading with someone off camera, whispering frantic things like, "Please don't tell Jimmy what we did at that suite in Miami." He can't know it was more than once. And voice replying, allegedly Cameron S. Cue the internet going into full-blown nuclear meltdown mode. The Shade Room barely had time to crop the post before Twitter, or X, whatever Elon's calling it today, started trending hashtag Chrissy confessed and hashtag CamCapConfidential. Meanwhile, Jim's fan base is out here clutching their prayer beads, asking, is this really happening again? Let's be honest, this ain't Jim's first rodeo with betrayal rumors. But this time, the smoke comes with surveillance footage, mysteriously leaked hotel logs, and an anonymous bellboy who, conveniently, just started a YouTube channel. Now let's rewind the tape literally. The footage shows a woman with Chrissy's build, same walk, same outfit, entering Cameron's Miami hotel room suite at 2:17 a.m. And surprise, surprise, she didn't leave until sunrise. Internet detectives wasted zero time overlaying Chrissy's Instagram story outfit from that same night to match the figure in the clip. And the resemblance, uncanny. It's like Harlem CSI out here, with influencers turning into forensic analysts over frame-by-frame hotel lobby footage. But here's the kicker. Second source, someone claiming to be a former VH1 production assistant, stepped forward with what they called a lost confession scene from Love and Hip Hop. According to their dramatic, type-riddled DM, Chrissy allegedly confessed during an off-camera mic test that she once regretted a night that should have never happened with someone very close to the family. That clip, of course, was supposedly buried by producers to protect the franchise's power couple image. But now, the assistant says they're ready to expose everything if they get 10K followers and a Cash App blessing. Because priorities. Meanwhile, continues stoking the fire like he's auditioning for Zeus Network. He posts a selfie in front of a courtroom door with the caption, "Tell Jimmy I kept the receipts, all of them." With every upload, the internet slips deeper into chaos. Instagram live debates, messy YouTubers doing 6-hour breakdowns even. Wendy Williams' fresh out of retirement hinting at a podcast comeback just to cover this saga. Harlem hasn't been this lit since the Dipset reunion tour. And this time, it's not about music. It's about betrayal, receipts, and reputations. Going up in flames. And if you think Jim's gonna take this L lying down, oh no, baby, he's just getting warmed up. Because what happens next might be the biggest twist in Harlem history, as the streets of Harlem buzzed with whispers louder than subway trains. Jim Jones returned from his brief silence not with a statement, not with a press release, but with a live podcast, raw and unfiltered, surrounded by cigar smoke, half-empty Henny bottles, and eyes red from more than just emotion. And let's be clear, this wasn't no PR cleanup, image-saving monologue. Nah, this was the Jim Jones, the wounded warrior, Harlem's bleeding heart, turning the mic into a battlefield and the first words out his mouth. You ever been stabbed without a blade? That's what betrayal from your own feels like. His voice cracked. Not for sympathy, but from rage barely contained. "Chrissy," he barked into the mic. "I built a kingdom for you, and you let a snake eat fruit from our garden? Cameron? Killa." The room went dead silent. Not a single cough from the background crew. Jim slammed his hand on the table, eyes locked on the camera like he was staring directly into the soul of every fan who ever doubted him. But here's where it gets darker. Jim revealed his own set of receipts. Not just iCloud backups, but literal screen recordings of private DMSM from Chrissy. Some from Cam, timestamped, heart emoji. Even a private note in Chrissy's iPad titled, "Killa, Killa, Confess." Before it gets worse. Now, whether that's real or manufactured, doesn't matter. The damage was done. Public opinion split like a barbershop over Jordan versus LeBron. Team Chrissy claimed Jim was spiraling, weaponizing his heartbreak for clout. Team Jimmy? They said he's been silent for too long and this was justice. And in the middle of it, all Qumran vanished. Poof! No lives, no selfies. Just a single story post that said, "Grown men cry too." But real ones know what's real. Now, what does that even mean? Is he confessing? Is he gloating? Is he ducking? One thing's for sure, Cam knew the storm was coming, and he dipped before the thunder rolled in. Meanwhile, Chrissy, silent. No Instagram posts, no statements, no damage control. Just that one eerie story deletion spree that fans clocked overnight wiping. Away pics of Jim, old anniversary posts, even vacation highlights that had fans screaming goals just a year ago. Now it's like she's erasing the evidence or the guilt. And just when folks thought this, Harlem Heartbreak Saga couldn't get any messier. VH1 producers finally broke their silence. Leaks hit the blogs claiming they'd been sitting on unreleased footage of Chrissy and Cam together, clips too controversial to ever air. But now the network's in crisis mode, debating whether to drop the footage as a season finale bombshell or scrap the entire franchise to avoid lawsuits. Because if that clip sees the light of day, nobody comes out clean. So what's next for Harlem's fallen royals? Courtroom showdown? A reunion special drenched in tears and tequila? Or a silent fade into the shadows while the internet devours what's left of their reputations? Whatever happens, one thing's certain: this ain't just love and hip-hop. This is warfare in designer shades, and Harlem, it may never heal from this one. If you think this story's over, you haven't been paying attention. Hit that like button, drop your wildest theory in the comments, and subscribe because the next betrayal might be just a notification away.